I found there's 4 things that come together to make a terrorist. So there's a group, there's an ideology, there's social support, and then there's whatever's inside the individual. Nowadays, social support appears on your telephone. You can be searching the internet and you can suddenly jump yourself right into a group where everybody endorses following a terrorist ideology. Everybody says you're going to be a hero.
I think we have to look past the early days where we're thinking there's a recruiter in a mosque. With the advent of the internet, with the advent of secured, encrypted applications too as well, it's very seamless, it's very quick in terms of individuals joining movements.
The propaganda effort to try to gain recruits and to radicalize Americans, Muslim Americans, is colorblind, is equal opportunity. These guys target everyone. Whoever can respond to their message, they want to get whoever they think they can influence.
Sometimes they're so little that they couldn't possibly know that they're going to die. They can't understand death.
Coming from Pakistan to the United States was a moment of crisis, to say the least, for me. I did not want it to be separated, from the only part of my background that I felt, was very close to me. It was at that point that I started interacting with different people online, and these were extremists who were actually just, using YouTube as an avenue to recruit more people into the online extremist forums. My radicalization came purely as a result of these online interactions.
A lot of times what we're seeing is that while they're using different technology platforms, their strategies still remain the same. Of course, there are some techniques that they had to develop in order to get around a lot of the censorship that's happening online, right, by Twitter or Facebook. But for the most part, their strategies have been the same. And that's because in order for them to recruit, they have to be on the surface web and they have to be using technology platforms that are used by the mass audience.
You need something to carry you across that moral barrier of we don't attack civilians. And someone has to convince you that no, it's appropriate to attack civilians and you should. And the way that works is the ideology argues for this cause. Something is so great that you need, or something so evil that you need to fight against it.
You will find that a lot of it is institutional. It's the racism that they're facing in schools. It's being slighted because they're a minority or because of their religion. The number of permutations of why someone radicalized is huge. And that's why we're using technology like machine learning to help us better understand these things, because humans simply, we cannot compute such big data sets.
That's basically what we hear from everyone that's been in ISIS that has come to denounce the group, that they thought they were going to bring a good version of Islam, that they were going to make an ideal state, and instead they were horribly un-Islamic, and that they were horrifically brutal.
I was imprisoned, in a juvenile facility at first. Being a recluse that I was, I did not really want to share my experiences with anyone, much less the staff members whom I felt were the enemy. Eventually I opened up about my experience of being an immigrant in this country, about my isolation, about my alienation, about all the frustrations that I felt. Instead of judging me and instead of evaluating my actions, the staff members of that juvenile facility just understood. They just listened and they gave me hope. And it's very hard, maintaining hope in a prison setting, knowing that you're going to face, decades, behind bars, and still having that hope up. They tried their best to at least, give me some sliver of that hope that there is a way out of this if you change what you believe in.